Stealing. Okay. Be ready, Americanah. You already know what I'm talking about. But can I ask a question? Can I ask an important question? Why is it when you look amazing, the camera kind of wants to show it, but when you looking a little tired, 100% HD, what the fuck is that? What is that about? It's Brianca Jay, and we are back with another review. This is my booktube channel, and today we are talking about Americanah. Y'all, this book took me so long to read. I was like, am I gonna have subscribers left by the time I get through this brick of a novel? Shame. Nevertheless, we're going to discuss the best parts of the book, the worst parts of the book, what I like, what you would like, if I think you should get it or not. Stealing. I don't know how to use stealing appropriately, so if I know anybody from Lagos or Nigeria or that happens to be Igbo, let me know, because I don't know. It's also another big quote in the book that I thought was fun. I love the colloquialisms that they put in the work to make it more authentic. I thought that was really awesome. But before we get started and I dig deep into the details, of course I have to remind you guys that my children's book is available now. You can purchase it on my website, www.briancaj.com, or anywhere books are sold across the globe. More so, my merchandise line, I have some really cool hoodies and tees that inspire you to be an alchemist, to be in charge of your life, to manifest your dreams. And so if we have that in common, you may enjoy going over to my site and looking around and seeing what works for you. Of course, last but not least, if you hear, the easiest thing you could ever do is go ahead and tap that red button right below the screen here, because when you do that, it gives me a little opportunity and a little to grow, to make a little money on the side, and it also encourages me to keep making these videos and helps me know which of these videos are the best for you. So like, comment, share as you would, but subscribe if you enjoy this channel and you keep coming back. Go ahead and join the community. Without further ado, let's talk about Americanah. So it is, I want to say it's a national bestseller. I picked it up from, it's a paperback, so y'all know I had to actually went to the store. I picked it up when I went to Barnes & Noble for homecoming, because they had a buy one get one half off sale. So I picked those two works, interestingly enough, because they were both about like Africa, right? And I what a theme to be in, and I like it because I read about a lot of cultures, but very rarely do I read about Africa. So as an African American woman, there is always a interest there, but there's not a lot of works to complement it, which is insane, because right now I think I'm teaching my kids Things Fall Apart, and then in my spare time I'm reading almost a complement to it, hundreds of years later, and the deterioration of the clan, what happened to the Igbo people is kind of here in Americanah. So I thought that was a cute complementary work, and I think it really refreshed my understanding of both works by reading both together. What I like best about the book, again, I love the colloquialisms. I love stealing. I like that. I liked her honesty when it came to relationships and mistresses and corruption. I mean, I think his honesty, I liked it. I thought it was an interesting perspective, and I also enjoyed that this presumed Nigerian woman didn't go out of her way to try to romanticize Nigeria, nor did she go out of her way to try to criminalize it. She kind of kept it very neutral, which is very similar to what Chinua Achebe did with Things Fall Apart. He wanted to chronicleize and document, but he didn't want to judge, and so I think she did that very well, at least when chronicling the city, I'll say. What I like least about the book, I'm so sorry, I did not like the protagonist. So again, the book took me a very long time to read. More time, I think you guys know that I don't take this long to read a book. So when I do take a long time, I always wonder, like, is it because I don't like it or what's going on? Now that I finished the book, I really realized I just don't like the protagonist, Ifemelu. She was snobby. She was bratty. She got everything easy. Her story didn't even sound remotely like the immigration story that has been come to be heard, which I'm not an immigrant, I don't know, but her story just really rang false to me. I think Auntie Uju's story was a lot more interesting. I think Aisha from the Braid Shop was a lot more interesting than her. I think O'Bean's, even his kind of lacked the luster, but his was still more interesting than hers. I would have wanted to hear more from Kosi. It was a lot of other characters who I thought would have more interesting dynamic stories than Little Miss Perfect Ifemelu. I just wasn't that impressed with her character and even her recklessness. It just showed a life of privilege or Americanah ways, but she just did not, I didn't like her. So of course, like I said, this book really reminded me of Things Fall Apart. Not the writing style per se, but her choice to document the cultural customs, behaviors, ideologies rings true to Things Fall Apart. And I really enjoy learning a lot about modern day Nigeria and how things have changed since colonial powers have come and left. I thought it was really interesting to know, as well as to know why Nigerians come to America. That was also interesting to know, and the feeling of going back and forth and belonging and all of these things really helped me understand my African brothers and sisters a lot more. It also helped me understand the ways in which Nigeria has changed, and it allows me to complement my early history from Chinua Achebe with the modern text, so I can have a more well-rounded understanding of what the experience was like. Really enjoyed that. In the book, who I liked best, I really was impressed with, okay, I liked Imiku. I liked Imiku, who was just Obi's friend, but he had like adopted all these random European customs and tried to really fit in with them. Thought he was very interesting. I liked Auntie Uju a lot. I enjoyed Dyke a lot. I enjoyed Blaine was boring. Blaine was boring, but I think Shan, had she been more developed, could have been a very interesting character. I think Kosi would have gave me a lot more interest. So there was a lot of characters that I think really could have brought some great fun to the work, but just didn't get a lot of development, which is what happens. But I think I would have really enjoyed that. Of course, the character I enjoyed the least of all was Ifemelu, and then next to Ifemelu, I did not like Kurt. I didn't like Kimberly. I didn't like her sister. Was not interested in that entire storyline. Was just not interested to me. So it's asking, would I read another book by this author? Yeah, I would read another work by her. I would say overall the work is really good, but I felt like I got a long talk. Like a long-winded, winding story led me nowhere. Like again, as far as documenting commentary about Nigeria, about the culture, absolutely interesting. The love story part of it really lacked the development necessary to be believable, in my opinion. Her and O'Beans just did not bring me, just didn't go well for me. Him leaving his wife, which is not a cultural norm where he is, and he's never been to America, seemed odd and mispronounced. Like, I just didn't understand. Yeah, the book, again, enjoyed it for the customs, the documentary part, but I just think the love story just lacked the value. I think that the protagonist was very snobbish, very judgy. I wish we didn't spend so much damn time with her, because the way she colors the world is very opinionated, but also the opinion of someone who has not really experienced hardship in the same way, who hasn't had to make the really tough choices. If I was going to hear from someone who hasn't had to make the tough choices, if I was going to hear from someone, I would rather hear from someone who has had to make harder choices and understand what it is to make a life for yourself when you have nothing, and what it is to choose between bread and water. That person has a more interesting story. But this girl who grew up in Nigeria and then gets to go to Princeton just because her friend is in Philadelphia, and then she starts experiencing very American issues like depression and anxiety, and her nephew tries to commit suicide. And to me, it's like, okay, I absolutely understand that, but also that's also tied to your privilege, because even as a black woman in America, depression is not something that I just hold on me. I can't afford to. Like, she just got up and was like, I'm sad, so I quit my job. I didn't know why I quit my job. I don't know where I'm going. That type of shit there, that does not ring true for your everyday American, let alone your common day immigrant. But it rang true for Ifemelu, so hey, if you say so. Yeah, but overall, I just didn't. I liked the work, but I think it didn't have to be 600 pages for sure. It definitely didn't need to be. And the characters should have either been more. She could have either decided to flesh out the characters more, or she could have focused more on the commentary of what was going on. It was just convoluted, right? It was just convoluted. She kept trying to. I guess she wanted to make Ifemelu as complex of a character as possible by introducing more characters for her to work with and deal with, but her relationships rang hollow for me, and her opinions of the world around her gave her the image of a overprivileged brat. Even her participation in a affair with the married man showed her lack of consideration of others around her. That girl there was just not my favorite person to watch and chronicleize. But overall, the work in itself, I probably would give it 3 stars. 3. Like I said, I finished it mostly for you guys, and I just needed to. I was hoping it was gonna go somewhere. It lacked climax for me, so the whole book kind of just stayed at this very level pace. There was no true conflict that ever arrived in Ifemelu's life. Like, every conflict she had was washed away by a wave of a hand. She never had any conflict to bring us a climax. So that was kind of disappointing. And yeah, that's my review, guys. I'm sorry. I hope. Tell me, did you like it? What did I miss? What parts really rang true for you? What didn't I understand? Why am I not seeing the national bestseller status of this work the same way that New York Times is? Because I just was not feeling it. Anybody can weigh in the comments. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for waiting patiently for me. I actually want to go to the bookstore this week to pick up some new stuff. So let me know what you think I should be reading, what I should be getting into. Tell me. I love you guys. We currently have 309 subscribers, and it is February 8th. Thank you guys for being a part of my team and loving me and being a part of this community. And go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. You know, it helps us get there. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so every click counts. Thank you so much. What are you waiting for? Go away.